Hi everyone. Today I will be presenting a read aloud lesson using the book The Mixed Up Chameleon by Eric Carle. This lesson focuses on comprehension, vocabulary, and helping students understand the importance of being themselves. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify the main character, describe how the character changes throughout the story, and explain the lesson learned. Students will also participate in discussion and make connections to the story. Before we begin reading, I will introduce important vocabulary words. A chameleon is an animal that can change its color. Camouflage means changing colors to blend into your surroundings. Hungry means your body needs food. I will say each word, have students repeat it, and ask them to use it in a sentence or connect it to something they know. Before reading, I will activate students' background knowledge. I'll ask, what is a chameleon? What does it do? This helps students start thinking about the topic and prepares them to understand the story. Now I will introduce the book, The Mixed Up Chameleon by Eric Carle. I will show the cover and ask students to make predictions about what might happen in the story. On a shiny green leaf sat a small green chameleon. It moved onto a brown tree and turned brownish. Then it rested on a red flower and turned reddish. When the chameleon moved slowly across the yellow sand, it turned yellowish. You could hardly see it. The chameleon is changing colors to match where it is. Why do you think it is doing that? Then I'll explain that this is called camouflage, and I would have the students repeat the word camouflage. When the chameleon was warm and had something to eat, it turned sparkling green. But when it was cold and hungry, it turned gray and dull. So when it was warm and satisfied, the chameleon is bright green. But when it's cold and uncomfortable, it turns gray. How do you think it feels? This is trying to help the students connect emotionally to the story. When the chameleon was hungry, it sat still and waited. Only its eyes moved up, down, sideways, until it spotted a fly. Then the chameleon's long and sticky tongue shot out and caught the fly. That was its life. It was not very exciting, but one day, so at this point I would pause, I would ask the students, what's happening here? Why is the chameleon waiting? I would do this in an effort to encourage students to think about what is happening in the story and to help them stay engaged. The chameleon saw a zoo. It had never seen so many beautiful animals. At this point, I would take the time to engage the students by asking them what type of animal would they like to be. The chameleon thought, how small I am, how slow, how weak. I wish I could be big and white like a polar bear. And the chameleon's wish came true. But was it happy? No. So at this point, I would point out that the chameleon wants to be like other animals. I would ask the students if this is helping the chameleon or is this making things harder? I wish I could be handsome like a flamingo. I wish I could be smart like a fox. At this point, I think I would ask the students if they're noticing any words that they don't understand. I wish I could swim like a fish. Here, I would ask the students something along the lines, does the chameleon need to change into all of these animals? Why or why not? What are their thoughts? Just to encourage deeper thinking and discussion for later. I wish I could swim like a fish. I wish I could hide in a shell like a turtle. I wish I could be strong like an elephant. I wish I could be like people. Just then a fly flew by. The chameleon was very hungry, but the chameleon was very mixed up. It was a little of this, and it was a little of that, and it couldn't catch the fly. At this point, I would ask the students what they notice or what looks different. I would explain that the chameleon cannot even catch its own food now. Then I would ask, was it a good idea to change so much? I wish I could be myself. The chameleon's wish came true, and it caught the fly. In the end, the chameleon says, I wish I could be myself. I would ask the students, what did the chameleon learn? After reading, students will complete 2 activities. Activity 1 is a color and feelings match where students connect colors to emotions. Activity 2 is a be yourself drawing where students draw themselves and share something special about who they are. This lesson includes vocabulary instruction, repetition, and oral discussion. Students are actively engaged through questioning, discussion, and hands-on activities, supporting structured literacy and comprehension development. Thank you, and have a good evening.